And we're live? Okay. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the driver. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards and the school teachers, law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Shout out to the chefs in kitchens, secretaries in offices. Shout out to the payroll attendees. Today is Friday. People want them paycheck. Shout out to whatever it is you do for a living. My barbers in the barbershops. It's Friday. The barbershops are crowded. Shout out to the hairdressers and the beauty salons. Shout out to the heavy equipment operators, construction workers. If I didn't say your profession, don't be upset. Too many professions out there to name. Just know that if you are up and out to get it on a daily basis, then big up to you. Productivity and progress is what we're all about. And by the sweat of a man's brow, so shall he eat bread. That means, if you're not walk feet, you shouldn't be yamming. You must get up and go work. And then that's how you earn. And then you can feed yourself accordingly. Right? All right. Standards and principles. Here we are on this beautiful Friday morning. Today is the 27th of February, 2026. And we are happy to be here. Obviously, we were chosen to be here because whenever we bring ourselves come here, so we are reveling in this moment, this present that we are here. And on days like these, we say, it's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up, clap it up. You made it. Made it through another week. You made it through another week. Of course, a lot of people take that for granted. Next week and next week and next week. I've been making it through a lot of weeks. I'm yay old. You know, it won't always be like this. Life has taught me that it won't always be like this, so enjoy while you can, yeah? It's not always good. Enjoy while you can, because the rain, the showers will come. That's life. The good come with the bad, don't it? All right. I have 10 more minutes before my free paper bun, says Audrey. I went at Audrey. Let me big up some people up here so there. I'm going to find out what Audrey talking about. Peter G, thank you for being here. Peter G is in the building with us this morning. Audrey Wright is also here. Morning fam, present teacher. Big up yourself, Audrey. Audrey always says, please hit the thumbs up button as you enter the live. Please. A lot of people forget to hit the thumbs up button. The good people them will remember once they are reminded. The bad mind people them, they won't. They'll just name the content, but they won't even hit the thumbs up button. But it's okay. Your bad mind self there anyway. We enjoy your presence same way. Nance, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning. You can tell I'm on one. Norma Jean, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning. Roddy's daughter, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning as well. I see a lot of black names in here, but the chat is strict. Okay, that's before. Mistress B is in the building with us this morning. Mistress B, thank you for being here. Appreciate your presence. Sean Cassell is in the building with us this morning. Good morning, family. And thank you for being here with us this morning. I don't see too many more names to call out. Grace James is here. Wayne Nathan is in the building with us this morning. Elaine Brown is also here. Senior Sexy is here. BM, big up yourself. BM says it's the freaking weekend. Yes, and we made it. DR is in the building with us this morning. Marilyn Grant, all the way from the UK. Thank you for being here this morning. We appreciate you. 5Feel63 from Great Britain. Shout out to our British family. Thank you for being here. Anthony Vaz, big up yourself and welcome. You're the finest is in the building with us this morning. Dorothy T is also here. Mitchell Taylor RN, put some respect on that. BSN is in the building with us this morning. Crystal G, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning as well. Shanta Sayanik is in the building with us this morning. Good afternoon. Carissa Smith is also here. Thank you for being here, Winston Gale. Prelis123, appreciate your presence. Karen Notice, thank you for being here with us this morning. If I didn't call your name, you don't know, it's because you reached late. All right. We got a couple of things to talk about this morning. We're not going to be here too long. I have a road trip coming up. So you will probably see me go live from a different location this weekend. I normally do, like when I go out of town, I'll do a quick live. That usually lasts for about an hour or so. Just, kick it with the family for like an hour and show my surroundings and these kind of things. I might do that this weekend, but I'm going out of town in a couple of hours. So I have quite a few hours of driving to do and some organizing to do. So I'm going to show up early this morning so I can leave early. All right. Um, on the board, this is what we have this morning. Nurses answer Christopher Tufton's SOS. You know, a SOS message is like a distress message. If you're stranded on an island, you put SOS in coconuts big on the sand. So if the rescue helicopters are flying above, they can see the SOS. He was basically sending out a SOS message for the people who don't know what this is about. That's our Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton in Jamaica. He was sending out a SOS message, basically almost begging specialty nurses to come back to the island of Jamaica because Jamaica is at severe shortage of these types of nurses. Not regular nurses. We have a whole heap of those specialty nurses. Those who have gone further into the field and have gained a certain level of expertise that they are certified and qualified to work in, like an oncology nurse or a neonatal nurse, etc. We have a big shortage. So he was calling out to those who are overseas, who ran away and left the island, and they're in the UK somewhere, and they are in Canada somewhere, or the US somewhere. Please come back to the island. He said we couldn't pay you like how much you're getting paid overseas, and we know that. However, we're making the country better. The crime rate is down. All these other things. Think about waking up every day and eating organic foods. Think about being a part of something greater than yourself and contributing to the upliftment of your country. All these other things and incentives. They're even trying to include incentives like paying for your moving expenses for you to relocate back to the island and all kind of stuff like that. Well, a lot of us said, them nurses ain't answering that. They're making too much money overseas. They're not going to answer. Lo and behold, we were wrong. They have been answering. And we're going to get into the numbers of how many of them have answered so far and what's going on so far. So, sometimes you just got to open your mouth and say what it is that's needed. And it drop right at your foot, It drop right at your foot. And being a Jamaican myself, I wouldn't want to see us in a position where they are begging for help and nobody is answering. I personally wouldn't answer because I would have to weigh my options, and my situation would not allow me to answer. Some people can't answer because their situation won't allow them to answer. But there are others who can answer, and more power to them, they are answering. So we have that on the table to talk about the nurses' answer, one. The next one is the government of Jamaica wants you to know how the spending of the 6 point something or 8 point something billion dollars that they have for the hurricane money is going. And they said that 5 billion have been paid out so far. And we're going to explain what the 5 billion in Jamaican has been paid out so far to a certain thing. And we're going to explain what that is and how the money breaks down there. Because we're still tracking the money. There's a new update to the rich murderer, politician, husband, Julian Silvera's case. Say Julian Han. Julian Silvera came out and said he was a former member of parliament, right? He took his wife's life, Melissa Silvera, may her soul rest in peace. And he pled guilty to manslaughter, and the courts accepted the manslaughter instead of the murder charge. Well, his sentencing is approaching soon. And there's an update to that case. That's pretty interesting. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about going through tragedy and then being blessed immediately after going through your tragedy. Thank you, Jesus, is the name of this one. The next one is Very interesting. A US Congressman scolded our Prime Minister and Jamaica yesterday. Jamaica is under threat, is how I see it. That was a big threat. That was a big threat. He said that. So our Prime Minister opened his mouth and said some things, right? Remember me telling us, say I'm not even mad at Andrew no more. I'm not even mad at him anymore. I'm paying attention to the political landscape and the geopolitical movements that are taking place, and I am really understanding certain things. I am still mad at him for some things that I think he could have done to make Jamaica a better place for all Jamaicans, especially those at the lower half. However, for certain other things, I'm not even mad at him no more. You got to be playing chess out here. So he opened up his mouth and said some things yesterday and got scolded immediately with these words. Jamaica will pay the consequences. We're going to get into who said it, what kind of consequences, and why they are threatening us with consequences in a minute. And then, frivolously throughout this morning, we'll have questions. You know, some fun questions. Here's the thing. I just went and looked up. So, in 2020, February of 2020 to be exact, I came up with this thing called 5 Questions with SouFLoTV. And I had to go look it up this morning to make sure that I wasn't tripping. 5 Questions with SouFLoTV. Then I saw a popular news media outlet out of Jamaica in more recent times doing 5 questions with whoever they are going to interview for that day. 5 questions with this, 5 questions with that. But it's always the same 5 questions with. And I said to myself, you know, I create content at such a rapid speed that sometimes I forget what I have created. So the 5 questions with SouFLo was supposed to be something that I would keep going. Not just 5 questions today. It would be 5 questions from any one of my audience members. It could be 5 questions that are directed to you or 5 questions taken from you. Just 5 questions with SouFLo. All right. When I went and looked this morning, I'm the one that started the 5 questions with. But it's flattering. It's flattering. You know, nobody's going to come out and say, oh, we took your 5 questions with stuff. Just like how I had a t-shirt that said up, up, up. And on the back of it, it said, wake up, wise up, and rise up. Right? I used to tell my audience, say, up, up, up. And some people used to be like, why you always say up, up, up? What that mean? I'm going to say, wake up, wise up, and rise up. Why I'm on Temu the other day and see a wake up, wise up, rise up, and up, up, up t-shirt for sale. And I was like, yo. And then there's a popular Jamaican social media influencer, super popular. Not no regular, I forget to know who this is. If I say the name of the person right now, everybody are going to say Ross. Super popular. I see the person one day about up, 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 and wake up, wise up, and rise up. And you know, I don't indulge other people's content too much because not that I wouldn't or don't want to, but I'm trying to keep myself authentic. So I don't want anybody's stuff rub off on me, so me start sounding like them. That's the only reason why. But when I saw the wake up, wise up, rise up, I shot a message. I said, the person said, them I try thief. They're trying to thief my creation and my stuff. Me come up with wake up, rise up, wise up, rise up, and rise up first. I said, if you could predate that to the date that I have, where I created that, then you can keep it. But until then, just know that is mine. Haven't seen them with it since. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. So you just feel like calling or hanging up. All right. Don't get cold feet, man. Call and talk. Jeez. You know, some people I feel like they get scared once I answer. They call, but they're like, please don't answer, please don't answer. But me can send me call, but you never answer. But then when I answer, they're like, and hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. Just talk, man. So we have to say, we're all regular people. Jeez. Yeah, but the person did not run with me. Wake up, wise up, and rise up, and they were going around saying up, up, up. First, when I heard them say up, 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 me say, okay, it's catching on. Up, up, up. Because people would say it to me on Instagram, on Facebook, on any platform that I show up on. Yo, SouFlo, up, up, up. I'm say up, fam. So people start asking what was up, up, up. Then me say that particular content creator with up, up, up. You know, say I me create this and put it on one shirt too. And the wake up, rise up, wise up, rise up part was the part that got me combined with the up, up, up. Because that's my definition of my up, up, up. But ever since I told them that, yo, my creation of that predates yours. So if you can come up with and show me where you had it before me, then you can keep it and I'll stop using it. Apparently they couldn't. So that's why I love YouTube too. Because these videos we put out on YouTube, they're like copyright markers. If you can go back and find a date before that you prove that you did this or through the system did it by paperwork before I did it, then you can keep it and I'll take mine down. You know, and again, it's flattering. It's flattering. What the article I'm talking about though, the column, because they turned the 5 questions with into an entire column. So it's in one of our popular news media outlets out of Jamaica. Big up to yourself. You know who you are, and I don't hate. I won't say anything. I'm not offended either because I use a lot of content from your stuff as well. I have a system and you are part of my system. I consider y'all to be credible. So I go to you for information on a regular basis, almost every day anyway. So it's a fair trade-off and I don't have anything to say, you know? Not like when the Gleaner people them call me. First they put a strike on my channel. And usually when your channel gets a heavy strike, is a red strike. If you get 3 of these in 1 month, YouTube takes your whole channel. So when you get 1, you start panic. So I got 1. And they normally tell you who gave you that strike, like who caused you to get the strike. So when we go and look, it says the Jamaica Gleaner. I was like, the Jamaica Gleaner strike me? I'm so easy to get in touch with them, really strike me. Yo. So, but they actually had a course of, how should I say it now? Somebody you could reach out to. So I reached out to the person and I said, hey, no harm was meant when I used it. And if you realize how I used the material, it was used to make Jamaica look good. Y'all remember that situation where that American girl during the pandemic era, the American girl that got stranded in Jamaica, and she started putting out all this content about they have us in this shitty place and there's no food here and the surroundings are nasty and the toilets don't flush and it smells like ass in here and I want to go home. Y'all remember her? Y'all remember that situation? Well, a journalist from the Gleaner actually went to the location where she was at. And when I saw it, I said, me backside, swim up pool at your doorstep. I've been to some nice places in Jamaica. Me never going to one of them where the pool they're right on my balcony. Like you swim up to your damn balcony from your pool and come out of the pool and walk going to your house, to your balcony. And they were like side by side. Me I say, which part this a place are there? And the girl was lying. So I thought, yo, the more of us that use that material and send it out to the world so the world sees. They even went into the room she was staying in. The room have all kind of stuff like if you walk out of the room senses your presence. Me I say, rotted. Jamaica all high-tech and stuff. Room senses my presence. You walk in the room, your AC cut on. The AC stays at the temperature you had it programmed to before. You leave the room, the AC cut off. It's a energy saving mechanism. Me I say, how come we don't have that in the US yet? So all these little fancy nice things I was wanting to show to the world like this girl is staying in luxury. Not even nice places I stay in the US don't have all these kind of amenities. Why do people them say, take down my stuff? The Gleaner said, yeah, we understand and all that. Just take down the video, please. Because I feel it. I said, okay, fine. I'll take it down. And again, I apologize. I did not know it would be taken this way kind of thing. So I took it down and then my strike went away. So I've been very careful ever since to not really with the Gleaner too much. Obviously. And you know what the funny thing is? I've reached out to the Gleaner before to do articles on me and what I have going on, and the Gleaner never responded. So the person who was the point of contact for the strike, I said to the person, I said, now that we're here, I have reached out to to those who would be in charge of, you know, making things happen. If you wanted an article printed in the Gleaner, I said, I'm not asking for anything for free. If it needs to be paid for, I'll pay for it, right? But I see y'all do articles all the time on vloggers, social media personalities, on entertainers, etc. I need an article out there. The person said, they gave me a piece of information of who to contact. So I checked my information and I said, well, that's who I've been contacting all along, and they're not responding. And the person said, really? They're not responding? They're not responding? I said, no, they're not responding. And the person said, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Just try again. So I just stopped trying, because it came to my daylights that there was this, it sounds weird, but there was this concerted effort to elevate some people while stifling others. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that I'm one of those. Something I must have said, because I'm the kind of person who chat a lot. So I have to go back and think about it. When me this about the Gleaner at any time in the past now, why them wouldn't want to run an article for me? And I found a video where I said, I don't know who is or who are the journalists them that are over at the Gleaner, but man, anybody could write an article over there. I said something along those lines, and I think they took it as an offense. Yeah, I think they took it as an offense. I'm like, you're supposed to be professionals. This is not good journalism. I'm not a professional journalist, but if I was to be one, I could write a better article than this. I think they took it as an offense. So me couldn't get nothing printed by the Gleaner. But Gleaner, big up yourself same way. See? Big up yourself same way. Anyway, what I want to talk about first this morning, though, I normally ask the audience where to start. And you know what? I won't switch it up. I'll keep it that way today. You choose where I start. Do you want to start talking about the nurses? Do you want to talk about where the money is going? Do you want to, so it's nurses, money, killer, politician, Jesus, or threats? Jamaica under threat, threatened. You choose, I go. You have 60 seconds. Let me sip some of that juice here because I'm going to need it. There, I drink some mango juice. Yeah, Audrey, them did have me up feet. I had to backtrack to find out what I did. And I found what I did. Money. You're the fan that says money. We're 20 seconds in. The money thing not too exciting enough. So you might want to choose something else. All right. I see nurses. 1 nurses. I see 2 nurses. I see 2 Jesus. You know, you're going to get some Jesus in there. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 threats. Okay. And we're going. We're 32 seconds in. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Denise, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Let me put Denise on the screen. All right. Keep it coming. We're 44 seconds in. All right. We'll get 1 more nurses. All right. We get a threat. Where the threat gone? Okay. Threat, nurses, threat. Jeez, threat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, threat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to the threats. I don't know. I don't know if them take Andrew for soft soap or they're just in their mad people phase, but Lord, they've been picking on Jamaica hard lately, boy. You know, um, I saw this flash across yesterday that says Jamaica gets threatened. A US Congressman says that Jamaica is to face some consequences. Now, of course, you know, I run to the thing because I want to know what kind of consequences them have we are going to face now. Kingston, Jamaica. United States US Congressman Carlos Jimenez blasted Prime Minister Andrew Holness on X on Wednesday following Andrew Holness's comments sharing solidarity with Cuba. If you don't know, Cuba is under stress and duress right now. And it seems like the whole Caribbean has turned their backs on Cuba. So, you know, we were going through the things that Cuba has done for all the other Caribbean islands. Some of the stuff I didn't even know that Cuba did, like the Jose Marti School of Arts and this and that in Jamaica. I never know all of them things that doctoral programs and all these other kind of things. And I said, damn, the whole Caribbean turned their back on Cuba because big dog America, United States of America said, don't do nothing with them. Don't do no business with them. They out of oil. Don't give them no oil. They out of food. Don't give them no food. Just let them stay there and starve. Let them stay there and hurt. And if you help them, then you are our enemy kind of thing, right? Let's be honest. It's out here and printed. And I make nothing up. Well, Andrew Holness must have taken a stand. Because remember I told you, I said, Mia Motley is the only person, right, from Barbados, is the only person who has taken a stand outright. And I told you, I said, show me anybody else who's going to stand up. Well, Andrew gave a speech about standing in solidarity with Cuba as the Caribbean country deals with the effects of an oil blockage engineered by the US. Now, when I read into the depths of the oil blockage, you know, for us regular people, we think oil. Okay, them now gonna drive them car. They'll be all right. No, it's so many things that are ran by this oil in Cuba, to include neonatal units in their hospitals, baby incubators, all kind of something like that. So they're saying, yo, children are dying. Children are gonna die because of this. Old people are gonna die because of this. We can't just sit by and watch this happen to Cuba while we say nothing. I think that's what Andrew Holness said, or along the line of that. Well, addressing Holness in his capacity as the leader of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, Jimenez said, I harshly condemn this, and I find it lamentable that JLP would cover up for the moribund dictatorship in Cuba. So they are accusing the JLP, Andrew Holness and his JLP party, for covering up for the establishment in Cuba. Remember, them already said that that establishment is dealing in human trafficking, and anybody who deals with them, we're just going to look at you as somebody who is facilitating human trafficking. Andrew Holness is looking over at Cuba. He's like, damn, they hurting. They're hurting bad. And we right next door and we can't say nothing. Everybody is quiet. I think I'm going to stand in solidarity with them. And the big guns came out. No, the hell you won't. You standing in solidarity with them, huh? We find this to be, yep, the Castro regime repeatedly intervened in Jamaica's. He said, this is what he said. I harshly condemn this. All the man says stand in solidarity with Cuba. I harshly condemn this, and I find it lamentable that the JLP would cover up for the moribund dictatorship in Cuba when the Castro regime repeatedly intervened in Jamaica's politics to exacerbate partisan tensions and undermine the JLP. That's what I'm saying. Now, the kicker to this, he was born in Cuba himself, this US Congressman. So the Cuban-born congressman who migrated to the United States of America as a child was responding to a post where Andrew Holness had earlier that day shared a clip of himself speaking at the 50th regular meeting of the Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government, and he called for the Caribbean community to speak plainly about what is happening in Cuba. Go there, Andrew. Andrew Tanapan take a stance, and all guns are aimed at him for simply saying that. Remember, I'm telling you, I'm not even mad at him anymore because I'm zeroing in on the geopolitics that's happening and I'm seeing what is at play. Right. So the Cuban-born congressman who migrated to the United States as a child was responding to the post where Andrew Holness had earlier that day shared a clip of himself speaking at this annual meeting. This is the 50th meeting of this meeting, where he urged everybody at this CARICOM meeting, all heads of CARICOM countries, to speak plainly about what is happening in Cuba. He said, today, many Cubans are facing serious economic hardship, energy shortages, and growing humanitarian challenges. We are sensitive to their struggles, but we must also recognize that a prolonged crisis in Cuba will not remain there. He said, it can impact migration, security, and economic stability across the entire Caribbean, including Jamaica, noting that Jamaica would stand in solidarity with Cuba. Soon as he said that, big guns came out. Jamaica will pay the consequences. I don't know what kind of consequences them have to weigh. So the US announced on Wednesday that it will ease its ban on Venezuela oil exports to Cuba because Cuba was getting their oil from Venezuela, right? And of course, they interrupted that. They seized the oil from Venezuela, completely cut off Cuba from their oil supply, and pretty much ran Russia out of the hemisphere and took complete control there. Therefore, Cuba was now completely cut off. Remember, I told you all that an oil boat went to Jamaica and left Jamaica empty because when they got cut off from Venezuela, they thought Jamaica would be their friend. Now, the Jamaican government is saying, I don't think that happened. That's not true. But I was reading it from the Cuban news, and they had their own media with their own pictures of their ships in the water, head to Jamaica and got turned around and went back to Cuba empty. And they said it absolutely happened. That's what they said. This is a case of he said, she said. I'm not out in the waters. I can't verify if it's true or not, but that's what they said. The Cuban government said that they went to Jamaica for some help. They got turned away. Obviously, if that's the case, it's because Jamaica is being pressured. Like, you bet not give them no damn oil. And if you do, so the US announced on Wednesday that it would ease its ban on the Venezuelan oil export to Cuba, which came into effect when the country invaded Venezuela and captured then President Nicolas Maduro in January. The rollback followed weeks of instability, with the communist-run island plunging into an economic crisis, which pushed Caribbean leaders to sound the alarm about potential regional consequences. Like, yo, y'all are hurting Cuba, but it's going to end up hurting all of us. So if you're really our friend, how come you're hurting them knowing that it's going to backlash us as well, right? US Congressman followed his comment with a separate posting praising Trinidad and Tobago's minister, Kamala Persad Bissassar. He said Caribbean countries should follow the lead of, and he tagged her at PM Kamala of Trinidad and Tobago, who has governed with moral clarity, strengthened her nation's alliance with the US, and championed democracy in the region. Trinidad and Tobago is benefiting tremendously, and other nations can as well. In other words, Trinidad eat a big food right now. Look at them, right? Don't you want some of the big food too? Well, if you do, follow her. Do what she's doing. It's benefiting them tremendously. The U.S. politicians are so far out, Agent Orange rear end, it's mind-boggling. Snatch up Maduro to backside. Yeah, they snatch him up and there's nothing that anybody could do about it. The whole world is looking with their mouth wide open like, damn, Maduro didn't even have no backative. Y'all don't see what's at play here? So this comes down to this now. This comes down to the Jamaican people who have been saying, because I told y'all before, I said there's nothing that did I not say there's nothing that Andrew Holness can do by himself to change anything that the US has in motion? And there's nothing, he's going to get steamrolled over. Matter of fact, if I were him, I would be looking at what happened in Venezuela. I would be looking at, damn, they might do some covert operation in my own country, you know, and that's why he came out and said his number one priority is to protect Jamaica. Of course, enough of we scratch our head and we was like, protect Jamaica from what? We in danger? yeah, we are. We are, but what you don't know, don't trouble you, you know? That's above our pay grade level. Him up there, so he's the one that have to deal with all that, right? Charlotte says, Jamaica has been a rock and a hard, Jamaica is between a rock and a hard place. And I'm glad the PM spoke up now, but it started with expelling the doctors. Yes. It started with expelling the doctors. When they came, and y'all got to remember this. You never heard Christopher Tufton ask for special, for nurses, specialized nurses to please come back to the island. You never heard them ask for anybody who left before to return. They only asked for who left to return after there was a severe shortage. And the severe shortage was caused by, after Marco Rubio ended up in Jamaica and said what he said, I consider myself to be a decent person of being able to judge two people having a conversation. I can tell when somebody is telling you, y'all pardon my language, right? But I can tell when somebody is telling you fuck off with their facial expressions and their body language towards what you're trying to say. And what I saw in that meeting, I'll say it again, I saw our prime minister basically pleading to Marco Rubio, who represents American power, of course, right? So he was pleading. He was like, man, that's not us. I don't know who else might be into that, human trafficking, taking the doctors' pay when they come here, not paying them properly, pay somebody else while they work and never see money, locking them into any kind of building or compound or whatever so they can't roam the island freely. We in Jamaica do none of that. As Andrew was saying all that, you could read that Rubio was like, the man not even blinked good 2 times through the whole conversation. And then he was like, yeah, okay. Anyways, just make sure that you get them out of here by, I was like, damn. So I saw that there was no room for a recourse. That's why I came to my audience and I said, there's nothing that Andrew can do. Their thing is already set in motion and he's going to just either play ball or don't play ball and find out what the consequences are. My question to you is, what the hell do you think the consequences are? Mind you, we just went through Hurricane Melissa, a hurricane that many people are saying was not a God-given hurricane, and the timing of it and the effects of it, unheard of. We went through that, and then the US jumped in and was like, hey, you need money, man. You're hurting. Here. Oh, matter of fact, the US is the only one that doubled back and gave more money. And then gave a whole lot of aid on top of that. So you're talking to somebody who you just got hit massive. You just got hurt. You just got put to your knees, so to speak. And they were right there to say, you need some help? All right, come, stand up. Here, take this. Help yourself. I see you're hurting. So what is the consequence, or what are the consequences we could be facing when he's saying Jamaica will have to pay the consequences? I want to show y'all something, right? Andrew never said anything in length. He said something short. And just for that short little statement, they're already talking about consequences to pay. What are the consequences you think we're going to have to pay? When them doctors left, our Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, he did a trip. He did a trip to I don't want to make up, because sometimes I don't remember the exact place. I think it was to either the Philippines or Vietnam or somewhere over there. So he did a trip to one of those places, and it wasn't publicized that he did that trip and he was over there, but them catch him. So they were like, well, you were seen over in so-and-so visiting medical facilities, and like shortly after Marco Rubio left Jamaica. So what was that about? It wasn't India. It wasn't India. It was, I don't remember if it was the Philippines or, what's the, I'll bring up the other name in a minute. And that's when Dr. Christopher Tufton said, well, was it Philippines? He said, well, we are looking at signing a MOU with them. I said, aha, why you didn't tell us that? You were looking at signing a MOU. That's the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. That's the same thing that you got signed with Cuba. Of course, they didn't want to tell the people that, hey, we're going to have to let go of the Cubans. And we still have some of them on the island today, as far as I've been told. People are telling me they don't see no Cuban doctors on the island, though. Everybody I'm asking who are close to medical facilities says, SouFLo, me not see none of them. So me not know what Andrew are telling people them about. Them have hundreds of them still left on the island. We don't see none of them. We saw hundreds of them leave. I know one person particularly, I can't say who, at Cornwall Regional. That person said we actually did a goodbye event for them. And it was very emotional and teary. And we said our goodbyes. So you are right. They left. They emptied out the building. But according to paperwork, it says we have quite a few left there. But they're not enough to hold up the system like they were before. Because they were told. Jamaica was told specifically, your ass better go look somewhere else. Look to Cuba, look to Philippines, look to Nigeria, but don't use them like that. And if you do, we're going to write you down as facilitators of human trafficking. All Andrew that I try to tell the man said that's not what we do. That's not us. I can't speak for others, but we make sure they get paid. We make sure they live up to high standards here. Like their standard of living here is above the average. They this, that, and the other. He was like, yeah, okay. Anyway, so like I said, right? Like I said, just don't deal with them. So here we are. I asked what consequences we might be paying, right? And Charlotte said, Charlotte, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Charlotte said maybe immigration or visa consequences. Maybe immigration or visa consequences. Now, remember how this started out. It started out like this, for those of you who don't know. We want you to stop doing business with Cuba. And if you don't, stop using their doctors and nurses, we will take away all the visas. Remember what I said? I said if those people said they would take away the visas or shorten visas for the civilian population of Jamaica coming into the United States of America, Jamaican government would not give a damn. Because they would say, my visa not affected. So we have to go work it out like that. Jamaica now go get paid, go into the country, but we can still travel. They know that too. So they specifically said we will stop all the visas, US visas, of all your elected officials and their closest family members. I said, damn, that is so decisive, or divisive rather. That is so divisive. They thought about that. Those politicians won't move if we say we're taking visas from the people. Let's take it from their elected officials and their closest family members, their spouses, their children, right away. As the man left the island, a bag of Cuban doctors and nurses were seen at the airport the very next day. And he came out and told us that, oh, no, it's, I know what you're thinking, but it's not really that's the case. You know, it's just a horrendous coincidence. That's all it was. I know it looks away, but it's not really that. And I mean, whether we bought it or not, we couldn't do nothing to change it. It is what it is. It is what it is. For a set of people who are so proud, for a set of people who are so strong and so resilient and so proud, right? It feels hurtful that you are faced with a situation in which you are powerless. Because it shows. It shows that we are powerless. It shows that we are powerless. I want to ask my audience this. Some people have said deporting of citizens, like deporting Jamaica, non-deport, no US citizen, no. Investigation of the teething politicians. You never know what they have on them. You never know what they have on them. Remember, I know the US is a place like this. They could bring up your leaders on international crimes. And next thing you know, you're dragged out of your country and in a jail cell in the US. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, brother, what going?
Morning, sir. Hey, you know how long you have sit out and watch them things there unfold. A long time now, you hear about them stuff, you know?
Yes.
From you see from this planned hurricane when it come, leading up to all of this.
Wait, where you said? Hold on there. Where you said the planned hurricane?
From this planned hurricane that happened.
So you are of the belief that hurricane was planned. It wasn't a God-given hurricane.
Because my youth, if when you talk about right now, you know, see how everything is played out in sequence.
Yeah, I can't deny that. We're watching it.
Yeah. Because from the guy that come there, or Rubio come there, and they talk about getting rid of the Cuban doctors. You see, say everything is still on the table and play out the same way how they want to play out.
Right.
That's why sometimes good for people spoon feed you. Because anytime they keep doing that, then them anytime they say, you know what, me not give nothing more again. And if you know abide by what I'm saying, then me not feed you no more. Yeah.
So I'll cut you off and know you don't have the things you need.
Yes, man. So why is it every time I don't do what you want me to do, my youth, you go tell me about you go sanction on me. You go pull this rug from under me foot on. Where all of this come from?
And you have consequences you're gonna have to pay.
But like I said, and same way for you to talk about Andrew, you say you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. And trust me, I was listening to him. Right now, when I listen to how he's acting right now, I said, yes, it seems like he might have some balls doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? But him still have to watch out because just like I said, they might try to do him just like how they do homeboy.
It's like I'm lending him grace because understanding the situation now, because I asked myself this: if I was in that position, what would I do?
You know what I mean? Because
hold on there. I was gonna say you can brave up yourself and then sacrifice a whole nation of people in the process. You know what I say? So I mean I'm looking at it as if I was in it. Where did I say?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it the same way, because I'm thinking about it. He's doing what he's doing right there, and it's all good, and it's trying to represent for the people them. But then in a little bit, man, you don't know if these clowns will try to do something different. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking at. You know?
It's like Andrew wants to stand up, but he's standing with bended knees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he wants to stand up, but he can't really stand up, because Boy.
Yeah, they will have certain vacative my, because this is what I'm saying. Unity has strength, And if one or two other people on the other side of it and everybody else are trying to run, then it now makes too much sense. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something, bro, that we need to look at, right? Jamaica is dependent heavily on its tourism industry. This is a given. I want y'all to walk with this. Jamaica is heavily dependent on its tourism industry. Guess where most of the tourists them that support that tourism industry come from? Forget all the other sanctions that them can do against Jamaica and all the other tricks them can pull out the bag on Jamaica, cut you off from whatever aid and raise tariffs against you tremendously and all these other things. Guess what nation makes up the majority of Jamaica's tourists? Guess what nation?
Right here.
The United States of America.
Gotta be right here.
We get people from everywhere around the world, but the majority of our visitors to Jamaica come from the United States of America. So they can, if them clip that too. I mean, honestly speaking, there are so many ways that they can inflict hurt.
Because just like I said, we're basically right now in backyard,
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Let me just think, bro.
Yeah, man, may I tell you, and I'm here listening and watching too, you know what I mean? Because we know him put himself in a situation right now where, bending knees, just like I said, But let's see. And them have a lot of stuff here to deal with, because even them, I not even want to bring up to them files when them say them have a go on. You see how them I try to push people aside and I want to talk about them thing, but yeah, man.
Like nothing is happening.
Even the other day,
brother, they make it so even the bare mention of it can get you in trouble,
What do you want? They will see. Say, all of who
and then release it to we, and then tell us that we can't talk about it.
Remember when the oil thing when they go on with them people are going to the Caribbean and they do them thing. Remember, so them have videos and stuff, but them now are release it. So we can't. I'm telling you, man.
Wait, So when them go take my boy the out time place the other day. You see? You remember say that him say 100 million cash him say him have for anybody who can release that to him with nothing to black out. He want all the info, As him said that, so look where him end up.
Yeah, look, the other day I watched the Pusha T video. I see where you put out that the Jay-Z one them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, the guys the name we get talked about, you know.
Mm.
But the one that were really in at the deep crap, you know what I mean? Them not now come upon them. It's like nothing coming up on them.
Like me
and
say,
they're there.
Like me say, people have to be careful because me like how you talk and you know what we are talking about, but you're not saying it because me not have to cue you because you're on the same page. Because sometimes people call you, you know, you have to say, oh God, don't say that. But yeah. So me say what's your name there? Sarah and Russell Wilson name show up in the something. Because I read them, you know. Yeah. I'm reading them. I don't know who else not reading them. There's some grotesque stuff in there. But Sarah and Russell Wilson name show up on it. But what them name show up in there for? Them name show up in there for the purchase of a private jet.
Right. Yeah. Something like that may hear talk. Yeah. But so the thing is, even though we see I discuss the matter with the audience right now, we see how I tried for the topic softly. Trust me, know my youth.
Yeah, bro.
I want to say something.
Now we can't go 100 in it. Just like how Andrew have to tip it to, I see where we have to go and like we have sense and you know get this to it in a certain way.
This is why I say sometimes even find the two my youth. You know how them talk about you have to deal with the algorithm. Man, look, sometimes you just want why you have it where only certain people can speak and who don't want to speak, and it come like ain't nothing happen. You know what I mean? But when you talk, everybody are pointing finger at you. Look, man.
True.
Brother, me there. I'll go and listen. You know what I mean?
All right, my brother. Manners and respect, see?
Yeah, man, I will.
All right.
Yep.
That's another thing that's going on. They're digging for oil in Jamaica at the moment. And I honestly feel like, you know, I've said this before. When they find it, not if they find it, when they find it, we're going to be the last to know. And by the time we know, there'll be billions of dollars into the pockets of what the natural resources are that is supposed to belong to the island of Jamaica. First of all, right, Jamaica don't have the resources to actually go get that oil. That's like me having lots of gold and diamonds in a one location, but I don't have the ability to go get it. So I'm gonna trust these group of people to go into that location and get all the gold and that. I know where it's at, but I need you to go get it because you got all the tools. I don't have those big expensive tools. I don't have the people who have the know-how to work all that stuff to extract all of it. You think them people are going to go find 10 ton and come back come say, SouFlo, you rich. You know there's about 10 tons of diamond and gold in there. You're super rich. You think that's what's going to happen? When they don't scrape out about 8 tons of that for themselves and come tell us, say, yeah, some gold and diamonds in there. We found about 2 tons. You could do tremendously with that, but you're going to have to give us half because you're going to have to give us half for all the work it took for us to get in there to get it. Canada, they are drilled to. Canada, I forgot. I had to go visit my other video. The video, the last video I put up called Oil Rich Jamaica. That video pretty much explains who owns the right to that particular piece of water where they're drilling now. I don't think it's a Canadian company anymore. I think it's a US company working alongside a British company. I have to go back and visit my video that I put up about 2 weeks ago, right? But in saying all that though, you just got to be careful what you say nowadays. And as much as a lot of us want the Prime Minister, we're like, Andrew, you're weak. Turn up and talk to them and tell them so we don't care. One thing we know about Jamaican people is this. They will put one battery in your back, you see? And then when you start going and going, like, was it the Energizer Bunny? When you start going and going like the Energizer Bunny, and then you bucking up in a beer problem, them run well left you. Yeah, man, because you chat too much. Cause I see somebody saying they should holler at China. Holler at China for what? Holler at China for what? China is trying to be out of the region as well. Don't forget, said China was supposed to have Maduro's back in Venezuela. Y'all forgot? Russia, China, and who else was supposed to have Maduro's back? Russia and China was supposed to have Maduro's back. That's why the whole time Donnie is saying to them, all right, keep playing. Keep playing. We'll be all up in your shit. The whole time he was saying that, everybody over here is talking about, no, you won't. No, you won't. Because China won't let that happen. And Russia is powerful and China is powerful and they got nukes too. And you'll be scared. All the man them do was went behind Venezuela, do a backdoor deal. And I say, yo, you could have over this or that interest that you've been after. Just leave out this region right here. This is in our backyard. I don't want to go to war with you over this because I don't have no interest in your backyard. So just stay out of our backyard. We stay out of your backyard. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, yeah, well, we really want that. So we're disappearing. The Chinese people are very calculating people. They'll be in Jamaica for business sake, but they won't be standing up with Jamaica to fight the US, so to speak. They're clear out of the way. They are clear out of the way. Just like how they did Russia. When Maduro looked around, and you know when I knew when trouble was coming? When the US started seizing the oil tankers out in the Caribbean waters. And they seized one, gone with the whole tanker. This is after they took Maduro out. Then they seized another one, gone with the whole tanker. Chinooks hovering above it, soldiers fast roping down, running up on them. I'm like, yo, this is like a movie I'm watching because they have video footage of it. And by the time they got to the third one, they said, oops, a Russian oil tanker was seized today, making its way back from Venezuela with hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil. I said, damn, US gone with that, you know? So I said to myself, say, oh, they won't hold on to that. They won't hold on to that. They got to know it's Russia owned because it was flying the big Russian flag on it out in the Caribbean waters, heading from Venezuela back. America took that. Then they took a Chinese one. So I'm saying, damn, when is the Chinese and the Russians going to help Venezuela? It ain't happening. It's not happening. So for us to be here saying anything else about our own prime minister, knowing he is not that powerful, is for us to be asking that man to pretty much, I don't want to use that word because they will flag us if we use that word, but it's to ask him to fly a kamikaze mission. Yeah, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and watch how Andrew and his administration handle this. I won't be so critical anymore. I'll be critical of other things. I won't be so critical about the geopolitics that's taking place and how he's handling that. I won't be at all. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch and observe and see, you know. I look like every time he stick out him head, them I go bust it. Just like how he stuck his head out just now and said, there's like a two-line away him just said, and them slap him in him head already. I'm have to pull back in him head. He couldn't even finish saying what he was saying. So we're gonna see where this goes. Again, I'll say this. I hate feeling powerless, but it's a reality. It's our reality. We are powerless in this situation. We are. And if anybody think we're not, then please tell me broaden my horizons. Please tell me, like, what is it that you think that the Caribbean could do that could steer this in a different direction? What is it that you think the Caribbean could do? And when I say the Caribbean, I mean all CARICOM countries who are united right now. What Trinidad not unite? Trinidad take for themselves. Trinidad say, I am over here. I don't want anything to do with y'all. Y'all can stay over there. I over here. I working with what they working with. What is it that you think that they can do to change this? You said not looking at China for war, but as an ally in terms of trade, etc. China no want a war. Well, yeah, but we have that already, Charlotte. In terms of trade, we have that already. But this is the thing, Charlotte. We already have that with China, right? The trade agreements are open. China don't have any embargo on us or any sanctions or anything like that. It's smooth sailing between us and China right now. But because China is doing business with the US can sabotage Jamaica through China. And China will look out for its best interests of China. So if it requires them leveling sanctions against Jamaica, cutting down on trades, or reducing their investments in the island, etc., the list goes on, I think they will do it. I don't think China will ever look to the US and say, I don't give a damn what you say. I'm with Jamaica. I'm riding with Jamaica. And it's proven by what they did with Venezuela. They never looked at America and said, I don't give a damn what you say. We got big business going on over in Venezuela. I don't know if y'all understand the billions of dollars that China invested in getting oil out of Venezuela. They actually put a oil drill station out in the middle of the sea off the coast of Venezuela that is the first of its kind. High technology. And they were getting to pumping and refining and exporting. And America said, hell no. The platform. And America said, shut that shit down right now. So all that money that they pumped into doing that, right, is gone. They didn't fight back. They didn't say we're not going to stop because Venezuela is our friend. So I know they won't do it for Jamaica. They have bigger business with the US. Sometimes one little small fish are dead. For the rest of the whole sea of fishes are fish to survive, however you want to put it. And we will get sacrificed in the process. That's what I think. The ancestors of the Caribbean will speak soon, Nans. Well, we will wait for that. Don't forget, so we spent about 400 years down there, and I can't feel them. I fight mongoose and big snake, getting buck broken and all kind of things, and the ancestors did not respond until like 400 years later. So soon, I mean, it's good to be hopeful. I won't shoot down any hope. But I'll leave this one right here and move on to our next topic because we've beaten it to death already. I don't want to overextend it. I'm supposed to be here for two and a half hours this morning. I just want to say again that I'm lending grace and understanding to our Prime Minister. Seeing what's going on, I would rather not be judgmental anymore on this level. I will sit back and observe how Andrew Holness handles all of this. And however it turns out, will tell us what we need to know. The ball is in your court, sir. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it. Now, the nurses, since we're in Jamaica, when Christopher Tufton said that he's asking the nurses to come back and he's putting together incentive packages to get them to come back to the island, right? Absolutely, Dorothy T. Absolutely. I was one of them that said, that not gonna work. I don't think they're coming back. Cause me wouldn't come back from my $150, $180, $200,000 salary in the US to come kick stone and catch bus and live rough life just so I can say I'm a nurse in Jamaica and I'm doing it for my country's sake. So the incentives would have to be super good. Well, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting that advertisement is placed abroad for special nurses to work in Jamaica hospitals, and they have received so far 134 responses. 26 of these are Jamaican nurses, the type of nurses they're looking for, right? 2 of the 26 are nurses who left the system to work in the United States in 2023, with 1 application from a British nurse who actually did some work in Jamaica before. Others are from several countries, the ministry has said on Thursday, adding that the advertisements were placed in the UK, in the United States of America, and in Canada. So just like how we saw commercials, I buck up on a commercial and I told you about it. And it said, it was like a nurse, or it was somebody saying, are you a nurse? Are you from the Caribbean? And they named a few countries of the Caribbean and they said, well, you can come be a nurse in Canada and we have these incentives for you. And they started just labeling off on the screen. And I was like, wow, they're actively recruiting, because it was the first time I had ever seen a commercial like that. Well, on the flip side, apparently we now have that commercial for Jamaica, and it's playing in the US, he said, it's playing in the UK, and it's playing in Canada. These are all the countries where our nurses left to go to. So it's going to be funny seeing these commercials in these countries. It's going to be funny seeing these commercials in these countries. Are you a nurse? Would you like to be a nurse in Jamaica? One love, one heart, beautiful beaches, an island full of exotic fruits, vegetables, this, that, beautiful smiles, a vibrant culture. Oh, sweet reggae music, the home of Usain Bolt and Bob Marley. Come be a nurse in Jamaica. We offer beach view from your living room. You can see the crystal clear Caribbean Sea that is always warm. I mean, how them are gonna sell this, I don't know. But it says that responding to the development, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said that he was happy to see the number of Jamaican nurses who are seeking to return through this program. It is good that our people see it fit, not only to come back and prop up the health system, but to assist in the building of this great nation. The government looks forward to having them here as quickly as possible and will ensure that they are properly settled in. The news comes weeks after Dr. Cheryl Morgan, who migrated in 2009 after graduating as a registered nurse from the University of the West Indies. In her interview that we covered here, she said that she would not answer a call by Christopher Tufton for nurses who had migrated to return home and work in the public health sector. She, by the way, she has a PhD in nursing, and she is on a whole different level. She said that Tufton's call had raised eyebrows among Jamaican nurses in the US, noting that she and her migrant colleagues had left to seek better salaries, benefits, and work environment in America, in Canada, in the UK, and even other Caribbean islands as well. He said the reality is that nurses are treated poorly in Jamaica by various governments. And I was tired of seeing nurses demonstrating with placards every time they should get a salary increase. When I was a nurse in Jamaica, nurses were just poor. Everybody knows a nurse poor. She don't have a car. She bata in taxi, or you could see her walking down the street to catch a bus or standing at a bus stop because she couldn't even afford a car. So nurses were known as poor, which is bad. Tufton had thrown the invites out during recent visits to Washington, D.C., and New York and Miami. And just recently, the man visited D.C., New York, and Miami and put that out, actively recruiting inside of the United States of America, and said that he would be formalizing it through actual advertising and promotions. Making the case for their return, he pointed to improvements in the country's infrastructure, ongoing hospital upgrades, efforts to reduce crime so you have a safe environment to work and thrive in, and opportunity for individuals to have more disposable income, saying that it made Jamaica increasingly attractive as a place to live and work. What this means, I believe, and I'm saying so with a lot of faith and conviction and hope, is that some of the very Jamaicans who have left our shores for greener pastures will reconsider and return back home to these shores. He said that, and we are saying to Jamaicans who live in the diaspora, whether it is in Canada or the UK or US or elsewhere, please come back home. We have a place for you in the healthcare system within the areas, obviously, where we are short of specialists. We will find a way. We will find a way to incentivize you to relocate. We will work with you because we would like all those posts to be filled by Jamaicans who have left us, which is their right to do so. He also said that he would be focusing on nurses who have not yet been lured away from Jamaica, because they're still there, but they're thinking about it, stating that there would be a housing program for staff across the country and more training opportunities as well, so they can go from regular nurses into these specialties that they are asking people to come back from or for. But he insisted that some positions were difficult to fill because of the location and the specialized skills that are required. Obviously, we don't have enough people who possess those skills. Tufton also acknowledged that the shortage had resulted in some staff being overworked, which makes for a bad work environment. Don't forget, more than 130 people have signed up already. Of those, 26 Jamaicans are among them who do hold these qualifications and who are willing to return. He also acknowledged that the shortage has resulted in some staff being overworked. And on yesterday, he did an interview. He said that the advertisement will continue, especially considering construction of the adolescent hospital in St. James, expansion at Cornwall Regional and Spanish Town Hospital, and upgrading of several primary care facilities. The result of this kind of pilot exercise, where we have actively sought to recruit members of the diaspora and others who may be interested to come in and fill the gap that we have in our health system, which we have been unable to fill locally, is hopefully going to have to be the norm as we seek to correct significant imbalance in our system, where in the past migration has been one way in order to satisfy the demands of our health system and others. Long story short, we want the people them to come back. Okay. Before it was like everybody is leaving, nobody is coming back in. So we want it to be a two-way street. We want people to be leaving, of course, go off into the world, go see other countries, go see other places, go exploit other opportunities elsewhere. You sitting in Jamaica, hearing that you have these skills and the people them who have the same skills, them are earn 100 and something thousand US a year. Your salary is nowhere close to that. You see your friend leave and next thing them have nice house and 2 car and this and that, and they're smiling and taking vacations, and you can't afford none of them things there. Jump on the opportunity, go. But also let it be another way where those who have gone out and have seen these things they should be able to come back this way. Yeah, I've had enough of that out there. Jamaica is not that bad. I'm heading back home now, kind of thing. They're going to have to turn it up. You're going to have to turn it up. It's kind of like when a child gets a taste of something that the child really likes. Even adults, once you get a taste of something where you really, really like, your next thing in your brain is, when can I taste that thing again? Right? I want some more of that. So that's the same thing where people leave and they're like, why? I don't know how it's going to work out. Apparently, you know, come here, say rough over there when you go on them program here and you're a nurse or you're a teacher or you're a this, and them not really like we over there. You know, people fully up with all the negative stuff, and then they go over there and they realize, it bad, but it worse at Jamaica. So I hate to say it like that. It bad, yes, but it worse at Jamaica. So me rather stay here, so we can deal with the frigga and foolishness of foreign, because boy, the paycheck they sweet, me not lie. In comparison to how me did I live before, me can send back money, go help mama. Because mama dead, she too old for work and she have bills to pay. Plus she have our medical issues and all this. We can put a helper in the house with her. Somebody be there all the time. So she have round the clock care. All that while I'm here, doing all these things I'm doing. So, and we can buy myself a nice car, and me like the housing situation. I'll be able to afford something nice for myself pretty soon. You can see your way out. I don't see them running back. So although Dr. Christopher Tufton is trying to put a positive spin on it, talking about 130 other of them apply already, and 26 of those are Jamaican, I'm going to have to see it to believe it. All right? He says, I'm pleased that in health, there are Jamaicans and others outside of Jamaica who see Jamaica as a place where they can come and live and work and raise their families. It's something that we want to encourage as we seek to satisfy the demands to support the health needs in the country. The last part says that the ministry said that of the 134 applicants, 42 of them are registered nurses, including, I thought y'all didn't need registered nurses. I thought you needed like oncologist, nurse, and all these other things. 42 of them are nurses you don't need. Anyway, because it's them said them didn't need them because we have a lot of registered nurses already. He said of the 134 applicants that they have in total, 42 are registered nurses, 16 Jamaica, 14 peri-operative. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hi, SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain.
Okay, so my little point is this: when they're doing their election, they make promises, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they never fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
So now these nurses think that these promises they make that should have been implemented long ago is going to make a difference.
Especially their promises to the public sector workers.
Thank you. It should have been in place already for them to come back to.
Right.
Or in other words, for us to come back to.
Right.
So if it's not there already and he's throwing out his promises, they shouldn't bite that bait. Should never bite that bait.
And you know, but according to him, he was like, okay, I acknowledge that the system is broken. I acknowledge that things weren't going the right way, but we are actively working on making it different.
Oh, I would have to see some of it first.
Right.
I would have to see some of it first because number one, when you get there, based on their trademark of promises, nothing has ever been done.
Right.
And what is going to make a difference now? Because they need them and they're draining, they're bleeding for help. They should have this as on a platter long ago so they can come back on their own. I know the ones who have voted to go or signed up, Jamaica is the best place on earth. So we would want to go back home with that offer, you know?
Right.
But I know otherwise from seeing what I've seen over the years that it's not going to make much difference. They're just going to get them there and then you'll hear some.
Same old all over
Same old. So I have a feeling the nurses, the nurses who have signed up are the ones who are of senior years and can do something back there and not want to stay in this country.
Like
you know
they've
what I'm
had
saying?
enough of overseas
Yes.
kind of
So
thing.
an offer, my mom would say, a half a loaf is better than none.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they're biting at as a
Mm.
bait. But really and truly, there's not much from their promise that is going to be kept.
Mm.
It's just sad.
That's gonna be sad. On one end we have to be optimistic, so I'll keep looking. But I mean, their track record has taught us, though, right? And
Yes,
we can't
yes.
ignore that.
No way.
Yeah.
They're not going through with their promises.
Let's see. But I'll be so disappointed if that's the case. If they move people back there, and these people end up complaining that I'm leaving again because it's the same thing.
Yeah, they're just doing this because we are like gullible people and have faith in our leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, it's a lesson learned from a long time ago, and it will never change.
True.
We hope for the best for sure.
For sure.
But there's a big old but in there.
For sure.
They can't even turn around to wipe it the way it's big. Tell me. Anyway, my brother, have a blessed day.
All right, you too now.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, if they bring people back and then they start doing the same thing all over again, that would be so disappointing. Because you know what's going to happen? It's going to backfire, because those people are going to be the ones who sound the alarm. That's the don't come back kind of people. That's going to be the don't come. I'm telling you, you see the commercials? Don't follow them. Don't come back here. I did it. Nothing is more powerful than word of mouth. So I would say that Dr. Christopher Tufton them, if they're inviting these people back and they're coming back, you better make sure you standing on all those promises, because you're going to have a legion of friggin' nurses who are going to be the run. May I tell you, ignore it if you leave already. And if you're here, try to leave too, because this is not it. You don't want that. The last part of this says the ministry said that 134 applicants they have in total. 42 are registered nurses, including 16 Jamaicans. 14 of those are perioperative. 12 are registered nurses / midwife. 12 are specialists who work in psychiatric mental health, including a Jamaican currently working in Canada, and then 10 of those in critical care, including one Jamaican who is working in the UK. 9 in pediatric neonatology, including a Jamaican who is based in the UK, and 6 in ophthalmic care, 6 in nephrology, 5 in public health nursing, 5 specialists in accident and emergency, including another Jamaican who is currently in the UK, and 4 nursing educators, including another Jamaican again who is in the UK. So these are the specialties that they're short in, and they are getting their numbers. I guess people are applying, saying they're ready to come home. But a lot of these are foreigners as well. So the respondent also includes people trained in nursing informatics, medical, surgical, cardiology, among other special areas. And again, a lot of foreigners are applying, because according to the numbers, 26 out of 130, that's a lot of foreigners. That's a lot of foreigners. They don't want to give it to foreigners, though. They want to build it around Jamaicans, because that means that you're not planning on leaving. If you get into that position and you get seasoned in it, there's nothing. I'll say this as segue to skip into our next topic, right? I can probably speak for every Jamaican here when I say this. If most of us were able to earn what we earn now here in the land of our birth, we probably would not be where we are at now physically. And I think that's factual. If most of us could earn on a level where we're earning now, but we're in our own country doing it, we wouldn't be anywhere else. Because that's what it comes down to. It comes down to you being able to sustain yourself and a certain level of a lifestyle for you and your family, and be able to accomplish your dreams and your goals and your visions you have for yourself and for your family, right? Where is Saradi's daughter, not true? Yeah, man. I think if we were able to get it like that, we wouldn't have nowhere else. Kawa would have sweeter than wake up this morning now and have some ackee and saltfish for breakfast with 2-finger green banana. I mean, not even want nothing else. Don't give me the dumplings so early in the morning. Just give me the greens. Like a color loop on the side, some ackee and saltfish and 2-finger banana. I'm gone. And I don't even have to wake up to cook that. I wake up, I'm going to go out the road and I drive, go to work, and boom, I stop at Miss Matty cook shop. And that ready early in the morning already. Pick that up and gone. Me I eat it while me I go work. You can't get them something there in America. You know what? Me not even want some heavy food this morning. Me take a cup of porridge. What you have? She said peanut and cornmeal. Me said give me the peanut. All right, a small cup of peanut porridge gone about my business. Where are you in anywhere in this place going to wake up in the morning and that ready for you? You know what I mean? We're just used to different things. But the sacrifice we have to make, man, is that when you wake up a morning, guess what the first thing them feed you up here? Some food where the ingredients long narrated, multi-copsylodextrin, something XY chloro, something lactic, something with some things where you can't pronounce the planet. For one little morning sandwich. You ever see them little sandwich that will have one egg in it and the egg is not even a real egg? The egg is not even a real egg. It look like an egg in there. The sausage don't look like the little flat sausage we're going at the two in between the two biscuits. If you get a morning breakfast, you eat it and you have to wonder is what is. As you've done it, you want to go lay down and sleep. You know? We're used to different things, but we have to sacrifice so much. I don't know. I see myself where I'm one day in my yard eventually. You know, I could see me floating around Jamaica. I could see me just being like, yeah, and I got to go. And I have this case that I'm working on over here. And then this case I'm working on over there. And I'm zoom into it. Yeah, man, you know what? You don't have to pay me everything. I understand your financial hardship and stuff still. So you have leverage too. You have leverage. Sometimes you can barter. One of the things that kill me about working here is like, okay, say in OT, right? If I see a kid, if I see a child, don't call him kid, call no goat. That's Jamaica said. Can't go back to Jamaica and call the people and pick the kid. I no goat, you know, you call him kid for. If I see a youth in Jamaica and that youth is going through it like being raised with on the spectrum, right, an autistic child, all his family members down a country don't understand what going on with him. Right? So they make up all kind of name for him and all kind of something like that. But them live on a farm. And the farm is very bountiful. And you understand as a Jamaican say, them can't pay you in dollars and cents like how you charge everybody else, right? So you can work out a thing with them. A country me I go shopping, you know. So here what you can do for me. Come and see you have whole heap of food around here. So I want you give me some yam and give me some green banana and you know set me up. Two of them so what's up there and thing. Just do a box for me, a little box for me. And I will work out a treatment plan for the youth. And I will come work with him and then I will teach the family what to do with him to increase his whatever need to be increased or whatever that's so you can't do that here. You can't do that here. Here you have to go strictly by the books. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to those things one day in my lifetime where I'm able to do that. I can fly by the people in my yard and pick up my box of food and no seminar if I go market and in exchange for that, you know, I'm handling the youth as far as his therapy goes. So on and so forth. No, Miss Joyce catch a stroke. She elderly. Them not have no much bag of money where them can pay you with. You can go do our therapy with her. And, you know, you charge some of this where them can and then the rest you make up in. Give me a box. I don't know. I have a whole heap of chicken around here. I say a whole heap of egg. I love egg, you know. So give me about 2 dozen egg. Yeah, man. And boy, your mango tree, them loaded though. Now no mango tree. Give me like 2 dozen of them mango there. Ah, you have kneesberry. Beg you some of them kneesberry there too. And you know, full up my little box and thing and go on about my business. That's how I see it. I see a different way of living that could actually really work. So going home doesn't have to really be all money per se. Although we do want the government to incentivize us in all fields. Everybody that's here getting their professional on, they want to be properly incentivized when they go back home as well. I'm not saying pay me the amount when I make exactly over this, but it have to be something where I can't be out here kicking rocks and catching bus with everybody else and not tell them, say, yeah man, my profession is, because people will laugh after you. And your youth, them not going to be inspired. That's why a lot of youths they're not inspired to be no school teacher. A lot of them not inspired to go be no nurse. After them see the nurse, my mother a nurse. My mother ever broke. And sometimes when we barely have food in the house, me not turn no nurse. Them suffer. It's kind of like my kids were like, my daddy is a soldier. I am never going in the army. I knew my kids weren't going to go in the army. I knew, especially my oldest, I knew right away he wasn't going to go in the army because for most of his life, I was like, his early life, I'm gone. And then when I come home, I'm gone again. And I'm like, every time I came back, he was doing something new. And he was just growing and growing. And one day he looked at me, Tafari looked at me, and Tafari said, I would never join the army. As a little kid. And I said, why you said that, baby boy? He said, because you're never here. You're always gone. It's all right. And the older he got, exactly what he stuck to. So when I talked to him the other day when he was leaving school, I said, listen, go do about 4 years in the Air Force. That boy tuned me out so fast. He was like, I said, you don't have to go to the army. Just go Air Force. And he was like, Dad, it's a no, man. It's a no. I'll do my own thing out here. But I'm no parts of the military. No. So I'm going to talk to my other 2 of them who are getting ready now to go to leave high school now too. They have, this year they'll be graduating. And they're the same thing. Jaden said, I said, you know, it's a tradition because my grandfather and then my father and then me and my son Jaden said, yep. And that's where that tradition died, right here. Because none of us are going in to any of that. I laughed so hard. But yeah, it don't have to be all about the money. I do see, I remain hopeful. Everything that has to do with Jamaica for me, by the way, is always glass half full. It's not a half empty. I stay hopeful because in my mind, I see it. I see it. You know, I see it for myself. I see it for myself. I see me living on that island more out of the year than I am anywhere else. Eventually, I see it. I'm calling it into existence. I see me being able to live. But boy, you know, so some people have some nice life at Jamaica that you want that for yourself. You want that for yourself. Not that I'm looking at other people. Things. I'm saying I want stuff for myself too, like a certain standard of living for myself in my own country. It's okay to be a foreign and you're like, yeah, me have one nice house in Miami, you know. I have one big old yard and it's privacy fencing and I'm living in one quiet gated community and big pool in my backyard. But then you fly into Jamaica and you're like, I don't have nothing here. And I barely know anybody here. See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I saw one more thing I'm going to say, that I'm going to change the topic. There's this nurse. She is one of the specialized nurse. I forgot what her specialty is, but y'all might have seen her video. It's a contracting company that builds custom build houses close to the water. And when you run out into your backyard, you literally run off onto the beach. This is in Jamaica, by the way. And she's showing a video and she's like, yes, me have my place at Jamaica, see it ya. And this me there foreign how much years I work out my soul case for. When I see it, and she's videoing and showing everything on me, I said, damn, the big concrete column them and the house just looks so grandiose. But when she spin the camera like this is like all the other houses around hers look so too, but they're being built slowly by private investors through this company. Because I saw people in the comment section asking her, how much you pay for, who do I contact? Who is your builder? And she answered and said something about a company. But of course, there were a lot of comments of he who builds his house on the sand. Jamaican people, he who builds his house on the sand. Then them said that the house they soon wash away. The whole around this are soon wash away because on too close. Who are gonna build a house on the beach? I'm guessing they have the, I don't know, the wherewithal and the mathematics is mathsing, and it looks like the kind of life that I would want for myself, right? She said, me soon come home, me soon done. I think she said she has 1 more year or 2 more years or something like that. But yeah, but as soon as she showed, that's the same thing I said to Nans. As soon as I saw the comment, he who builds his house on the sun. And then the next comment was, that's soon wash away. Or it soon pop down. I don't think it is. But damn, it's a beautiful sight to see. So yeah, them kind of life that I want for myself to, yeah, man. I see myself back home actually achieving those things and living like that. Our next topic of the morning is, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving. So we already talked about the nurses. Where's my pen? We already talked about the nurses. We already talked about the... Let's run through this one real quick while we're into Jamaica stuff. They want us to know how... They want us to know how the money is being spent, right? So not going to spend no more than like 5 minutes. Let's run through this real quick. So there's a program for after the hurricane for roof replacement, because you know a lot of people lost their roofs. Well, the government wants us to know that over $5 billion have been spent so far into distributing monies out to people who have lost their roofs so that they can replace their roofs. Juliet Howard could barely hide the emotions in her voice as she expressed gratitude that the Minister of Labor and Social Security's restoration of owners of occupant family shelters or roofs, that's what roofs mean, program will help her to rebuild her Hurricane Melissa ravaged house. I'm just glad that some people get some help. But I did break the money down on my paper. So I'm going to run through this, then I'm going to give you how much who's getting and what. Right? Where's that? SouFlo. Let's... Yo, 5 up. Big up yourself, brother. 5 up says, SouFlo, I'm earth strong today. My day upon the grind. Bless up everybody. Let's pause for a second. Perfect timing. Happy birthday. Our brother 5 up, Let's Bond TV is in the building. That the brother they work all the time. Him always at work. All him 2 job, 3 job self. Gotta respect a man that work hard. Gotta respect a man that work hard. Shout out to 5 up. And of course, I'm gonna sing you happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear 5 up. 5 up, we call him, you know. We call him 5 up because I'll explain in a minute. Happy birthday to you. And then Jerome said, we must give you the other version, which is the busy signal version. So, happy birthday, yeah, my friend. 1 more year upon them. One whole of vibes. Give thanks for life. Next year we're doing it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. 1 more year upon them. One whole of vibes. Give thanks for life. Next year we're doing it again. So 5 up. Big up yourself, brother. You know, after when you reach home later, you roll up one of them something there and just, you know, pour out a little libations and, give thanks and praises. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I know you're there out there on the work. Hopefully you have time to get off early enough and relax in a way that you want to relax. All right. And I hope you have many more happy, healthy birthday, and don't change for nobody. Stay as authentic as you are. You're a real brother. All right. Big up yourself. We call 5 up because we were having a discussion about age gap in relationships, and Let's Bond TV is 5 up. 5 up said 5 years up or 5 years below. Anything after that, beer problems. So ever since then, which means if a woman is with a man who is older, or a man is with a woman who is younger or older, whichever way you want to take it, the gap in age should only be 5 years. 5 years up or 5 years below. Anything after that, I got be beer problems. And from that, we started calling him 5 up. So the people them who are new to this, who don't know, you see Let's Bond TV and you're like, why is he calling him 5 up? That's where he got the name 5 up from. All right. Big up yourself, brother. And thanks for being a part of this family as well. Yes? All right. I want to make sure I'm telling him happy birthdays. All right. I appreciate y'all too for that. All right. Back to this now. The money is being given out. So I'm not going to run through the whole story. I'm just going to say that there are people who are vouching that they are getting some monies to help them to replace their roof. That's a good thing. The government says it's over $5 billion that has been given out so far to these roofs, to replace roofs. Not millions, 5 billion. This is how the program is designed. There are different tiers to the program. You have those who were badly damaged. Then you have those who were not so badly damaged. And then you had those who have like a light damage. So those who are severely damaged were severely damaged in Hurricane Melissa, like your whole roof gone. They get $3,207. They're gonna get $3,207. Now, God, I'm not supposed to be ungrateful. And I know $3,207 is US dollars is way more than not getting anything at all, right? So you're gonna be thankful for every little bit that you get. However, you and I both know that if your complete roof gone, right now, our roof in Clarendon, can remember me telling us, when I reach Jamaica since Hurricane Melissa, I feel we place mash up too, a Clarendon there. So when we go back, we're going to have to do repairs to the place. My aunt's been down since, my mom's been there since, and they had other people go over to the house, chop all and cover up one part of our house as well. So right now we're in the process of looking for people to give us an estimate and put a new roof on the house and all these kind of things. And it's coming up. One of them came up to, my mom sent me an estimate a couple of days ago. Where's my phone? I think the estimate came up to like 18,000 US dollars for put on one roof. I said, Mommy, this guy must be crazy, because the roof in the house I'm on now, this house that I'm in now, that roof got replaced. That roof was a little over 10,000 US dollars. Brand new roof. So for their Jamaica, I charge people 18,000 US. But I'm just saying that to say this to you. Could you imagine your roof gone and roofing people I tell you say about 10,000 US to put your roof on, and the government say, yeah man, you were badly damaged, so here is $3,000. You're not even halfway there. You still gonna have to find like 7,000 or something dollars to put on the roof. And that me tell my mother too. I said, we could build a house for that. We could literally build one house for that. Please find somebody else. You know? Great goodness, say what kind of roof that? Me don't know. I guess from them here, say how far in you there. Then they're like, oh, so you don't live in Jamaica? When you talk to the roofing people, like my mom sent me go talk to this guy, right? I'm there, I talk to the brother, and the first thing is, Oh, so you don't live in Jamaica? I said, no, but I'm there often. Me no know, say I'm getting studied, you know. No, but I'm there often. Him say, oh, all right then. All right. Him say, which part of the house there? Me tell him what the house there. Him say, oh, me I go up that side next weekend. So when I go up there, give me the exact address. I will pass by and I will do an estimate and, you know, have to look it over. We make your hands on it and then tell you a price and thing. Me not hear from this man from when? I guess the price was so high that he didn't even want to give me the price. Him think it was better to give my mom the price. And the price that he gave us was like the amount of money where you could have used to buy our next house. Yeah. Yeah. So under the roofing program, they're giving away 500,000 US dollars to those who are severely affected. That means your whole roof gone. That 500,000 US dollars works out to 500,000 Jamaican dollars rather. That 500,000 Jamaican dollars works out to 3,207 US dollars to be exact. And that's what the people who lost their entire roofs gonna get in Jamaica. Then for those who are secondly affected, like it did bad but it not so bad, they're gonna get 200,000 Jamaican dollars, and that's only 1,283 US dollars and 17 cents. For those who the roof get damaged but it never lick off, you have to go patch it up and stuff, they're gonna get 75,000 Jamaican dollars under this program, and that works out to $481. So I don't want to be ungrateful, but I'm just telling y'all where the money is going. Now the thing about this is, right, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. So they have 1,677 persons who are under the major category. That means 1,677 persons will be getting $500,000, which is 3,207 US dollars. And then you have another 293 who are under the minor category. And then you have another 1,128 under the severe category. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo,
Yeah,
all
family.
lies.
All lies.
All lies.
That's why I want somebody to call and tell me.
All lies.
Okay. All right. Are you the one with your house in do you want to talk to her? Because there's another woman who called us and she has her house in Mabay and she's telling us that a lie them a tell because they're not giving out no money and she can't get no help. So I wanted to see if that was her or if that is somebody else. But like when the people them call from Jamaica and tell us what's going on in Jamaica. Because if we follow the news, everything is perfect. You know? Minus one person get killed every now and then. Died in shootout with security forces. Nothing else now go on. The country is perfect. So I like when y'all call from Jamaica and make we know what go on. Them can't tell you the price at hand. No, them can't tell me the price. Them have to tell my mother the price. But that's it. That's it. So the people them are supposedly getting help. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yeah, Flo.
What go on, bro?
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
My question is, then how much for a ton of steel and block and when you pay workmanship to do the work? 400 US can't do none of that?
400 US can't do none of that. Jerome, 400 US can't. 400, yeah, you know how fast $400 US left you when you in Jamaica?
Try you come off a plane.
Brother, you spent 100 before you left airport.
Worse if you have to clear luggage.
Worse if you have to clear any luggage, and then don't put gas in a no car and fill it up, because that again gone. Stop out the road and get something to eat 2 times and feed the people them with you. And then by you reach your yard, you barely have any of that left. So 400 can't do nothing. That's why I tell the people them what the people are getting.
So there's a lot of people in Jamaica where
they have goals, but you see when them can't reach it, them say fuck it and give up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why people throw a partner where as them get a big draw, them use it and maybe them buy a car or them build a house or something. But 400 US, from them get it, them all just maybe use it to pay them kids school fee or buy grocery and they don't.
Yeah.
And then nothing is repaired.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to do better. This reminds me when Andrew them the give care package during COVID, and I give them 1 July and 2 mackerel like
£5 of rice and
when they're eating steak or filet mignon or
Yeah. You remember the little basket where they give out?
Yeah.
What 2 tin of mackerel, £5 of rice. It did have some onion and scallion in there, so. I'm not gonna lie, they're wicked it up. I was like, who is that supposed to feed? Because that's my meal. And that's about 2 meals for one person. And they were giving that to a family.
2 meals
supposed to be a family of 4.
Person. One people where we always sit down and eat 5, 6, 7 dumplings one time.
None of that me as someone. You must go slim down. But you know what? No.
Can't make no cartwheel?
No, check this. I see a brother in Jamaica will eat regular like this. And that's why I know something wrong with the food up here. Because the brother plate have about 12 cartwheel on it. And it's full of mackerel. Holy pan like, I don't know if about 2 tin of mackerel on a plate like cook down with, cook it down already with your onion and stuff like that in there. All right. And they have about 12 of them big dumplings there. Everybody is like, Jesus Christ, you're going to eat off all of that. I hear him. Yes, I'm farming, me doing it, me work hard. I'm hungry. And so the brother sit down there, man, yam off the whole of that food there.
And nigga right if not take him?
Me not care if it take him, but hear what? He maga. Oh, the man maga. The man don't even have a belly. Because he never have no shirt.
All of that?
I don't know. He must work it out back on the field when he do him farming.
So if me eat 3 dumplings, if me consume 3 dumplings, me uneasy.
Yeah, me too.
No, sir, but the government them there for one. But I just believe that if we have somebody that is a fighter for the country, and somebody that want good for Jamaica and the citizens, they'll do things. They'll either set some loan plan where you work, liquor, and pay this, but it can elevate you and your kids. There's just more strategy where they can do for the citizens them. Because remember here that's why them say America is the land of opportunity. Because sometimes there's many ways where you can send back yourself at school. You can do liquor this and liquor that and get through. Maybe you find a liquor, housing program and, the government pay half and then you pay half. But it employs you and enforces you to do more job and work. And as I say, if we want to get tax return, because some people work and them say them just work for them tax return. So there's many different things where people are motivated to work, but not in Jamaica. And the government can do better. When you tell me say 400 US, I'm wondering if you're reading something else.
No man, $481 US and 19 cents. That's
so so sometimes you go to Jamaica, like I'm from Mobile, and Airbnb are $200 a night.
Even more than that. You're talking about.
I remember
you're talking about a cheap Airbnb. You're talking about a decent Airbnb. That's that. But if you're talking high end, when I tell people this all the time, right? There are places in Jamaica now that they look regular, but I've seen places that are like $800-900 US a night. $800-900 US a night. Yeah.
No, damn.
Yeah.
Well,
and they have way more expensive than that too.
We need to just find ways to help each other. We just don't have that about us because we see it with many people. They'll support you from your community. If you're having a fundraising, they'll just help and send and help. And then when you say, our fundraising was successful, we were trying to get 10,000, but we made 50,000. The people them all celebrate more. If a Jamaican, well, give me back for my money then because you get too much. Yeah, we're different, you know.
Yeah.
But we just need to find out. We have to call out these people. Somebody call out the prime minister and say, "Yo, them things they are fooling. It's stupid."
Yeah, and like I said earlier, the geopolitics stuff, what going between him and the US and the relations to Cuba and all that. I'm gonna stop being so critical about that because I understand what game is being played. I'm gonna watch to see how he's handling it, but I will continue to speak out about stuff like what happened to the replacing of the roofs for the people who lost their roofs, and why are you giving somebody $481? Like what that can do? Just to say you gave people something towards it, but realistically speaking, what can that do?
Nothing. And but why don't they have someone from the lower class that works and tell them, well, you know, this can't do it, and nobody's there to push back. Nobody is there to show them to listen.
Not listening.
Some of these people have 7 kids in one house.
Them not care about that. They don't care about that, Jerome. You think them care if you have 7 kids? Them will tell you say you shouldn't breed so much. If you can't take care of them in emergency, you shouldn't breed so much. You breed up the place like rabbit ago. What you wanna do with 7 picnic?
But no, and then you need somebody to debate. But then you see one said the population has diminished.
You see one said the population is diminishing. And yeah, beg if you breed up the place. And now me breed you cost me.
Frustration at its best. But anyway, big up yourself, my boy.
Manners and respect, bro.
All right.
Where you breed go? Just a breed up the place like rabbit and roach. And they're the same ones asking you to breed up the place. You know, growing up, his mother told him, I'd rather clothe you than feed you. I'd rather clothe you than feed you. Like the brother when they eat the whole heap of food. And the woman cuss him. When you don't eat that, you have to go move out. Live on the air with SouFLo, good morning.
Yes, SouFLo, morning. Bless up everyone in the chat.
Yes,
bless up yourself and you're strong.
Big up yourself, bro. What go on?
Yeah, man. Sunday I might want to. But quick and fast. This money thing, it is being paid, but to certain people, may have person on the other side who total damage not get nothing. And may have person get minimal damage and 500,000 and get person what me know personally. So money I run, but in a certain direction, and you have to have certain contact, certain links. Me gone.
All right, brother. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So the money is not being distributed like he's saying that the money is not being distributed like they put it on pen and paper that it is, because he knows people who have minimal damage and they're getting the 500K. That 500K is supposed to be reserved for those who lost their whole roof completely or had severe damage done. Well, if you have the links, that's Jamaica though for you, right? Every Jamaican knows that Jamaica run a certain kind of way. You know, Naga said this, I'm going to our other topic. I remember our brother come from Jamaica and him say, yo, the police pulled me over and the police, I talk about, I don't want to sign, like, the police, I tell him, say, give him a thing, you know, like run a drinks money or something like that. And he was like, I should have recorded them and turned it over to the authorities and I was like, you obviously don't know how Jamaica run. And I know somebody is on their high horse and they're like, no, SouFLo, he's right. And I wouldn't encourage that either. Guess what? You're not going to change that. You're never going to change that. So I look at it like this, right? I used to be driving with adults when I was younger, and I would see the driver just let off of money when the police would pull them over. And next thing, police just wave your trousseau. Gone about in business. And it's not a lot either. It's not a lot either. I talk about back when 200 Jamaican dollars was something. We let off of two bills and gone about in business. The police and say, yeah, I can go stop and buy one drink and something like that. I prefer that. Live on the air with SouFLo, good morning.
Morning, SouFLo.
What go on, family?
Well, me tell my look suggestion is this. The government never get some company and some crew and give people work for just going to fix people's house. And him pay the bill, him buy the material them.
So just put a crew on it and make them fix it completely and pay them straight.
And buy the material, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
too,
you
that,
are no,
that's too smart.
You control. Because him know where to cost.
That's too smart. You're too smart.
All right, that's our word. That's my 2 cents.
All right, mothers, bro.
All right.
It done right. That's all. You see? That's how easy the solutions are. So when we don't see the solution then being worked, they always come around to us like, damn, why they go in the long route? You divide up the people in those who are severely affected, those who are affected midway, and those who only had minor effects, and then this much goes to this crowd while this much goes to this crowd while this much, and then let's divide them into categories. You're over here, here, and you're over there. That's so cerebral. That's too much work. That's too much work. Gather up some crews who this is their livelihood, them fix roofs for a living, and put them on contract and give them work for do from now till kingdom come. A bare money them company they are making up. All right, and this whole area here, so we have 30 houses we need fixing. They're on the list. This week, Miss Joyce at lot 17 and Mackay Lane, she'll get fair fixed today. And lot 19 next to her, Miss Smith house is getting fixed next after that. And you just deal with the contractor them. The brother is on point. That's how simple the solutions are. And the government just pay the company straight. Instead of you give me $481 and tell me, say, fix my roof. And me I go tell you, say, me I'll take the money, sir, because me now go turn the money away, but it can't do nothing. It can buy me 2 more pieces of tarpaulin and put some grocery in the house. And that's about it. If me have car, put gas in a car too. And then the money there done. Where's that grocery money that for 1 week? Oh man. But our people will continue to do what they have to do in order to survive. SouFlo, some of us Jamaica build the house, half build, half now, the next half later. So maybe at the $400 for half of the house stop that. Yo, people done. Yes, sir, maybe at the money that for half of the house stop. All right, sir. Landlord, I've seen the price for hotels for luxury king suite. Oh, y'all talking about prices. Jamaica have stuff that is $10,000 a night. Y'all tripping. Well, must know, say, hey, Jamaica, no small, pure, not because we can't afford to go up at them levels there. There are some places in Jamaica where it's $10,000 per night. 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 a night. I think one of the places, I believe it was Ziggy Marley, was on the island, and Ziggy was racially profiled. And apparently the owner of those establishments are not skin folk, and they were there in the area, and they ran into Ziggy, and them they treat him like the dirty Rasta boy around here, come go over there, so kind of thing. And when they found out who he was actually, then their whole demeanor changed. But Ziggy brought it to the public. Me go look up the establishment to see how much it costs to stay there. Right? It was one of those 10,000 a night and better. You get like a whole villa with how many rooms, and each room has its own bathroom, and it comes with a staff. These are nice things that you can do, by the way, with you and your friends. You know, grab 5 friends and head on down to Jamaica and grab one of them villa there and have a blast of a weekend or a 1 week getaway or something. Decompress and then come back, come bata foreign again. Nice that you wake up in the morning, if you see the breakfast spread according to your liking, and your lunch in the middle of the day and your dinner in the evening, you have cook staff, you have everybody there around the place. Just, it's nice. But yes, Jamaica has places where it's 10,000 US a night and more. Could you imagine this is your life, right? And you look at like this that they're giving these people. Somebody has said $481 to replace my roof. And you just stay over there so last night for 10,000 US dollar for one night. How long you there for? 1 week. God have mercy. Why? Life has levels. Life has levels. I'm trying to go up them levels. I'm not jealous of nobody who's able to. I'm just trying to make sure I'm able to too. You know what I'm saying? We're not jealous of nobody who do it. Do it, my friend. I'm just trying to get to where I can do it too. Because that's some sweet life that. That's where it gets sweet enough. Although country life sweet when you can cook your own food, but who wouldn't want to experience some of the opulence? Wake up in the morning and there's a staff of people around. I just walk downstairs and I say, hey, John, drive me out to the market, please. I'm just want to go out there, go look around and everything. I don't have to shop because there's staff here that does the shopping already. Yeah, drive me and drop me off at such location. I feel some of them life there. I do. Thank you, Jesus. The woman wins the lotto. If you look at my icon this morning, you will see a woman who has a mask on. It looked like one of them John Kuno masks there. Can't see her face and the long fake hair and the big hat. She completely masked herself up to collect this money. When Hurricane Melissa tore through Jamaica last October, it shattered Miss A's West entire world. The dangerous Category 5 hurricane destroyed the house that she had built, and her house had taken her years to put together, and the small livelihood that she depended on to survive as well. What remained was a broken structure, scattered memories, and an uncertain future. Some nights, she said, with nowhere else to turn, she actually had to sleep inside of the damaged shell of a house that used to be her house, clinging to the faith in the middle of devastation. She said, I lost everything in Melissa. I lost all my furniture. I lost all my clothes. I lost absolutely everything. And I didn't know where to start to pick up back my life. For months, survival depended on the kindness of others and the fragile hope that life would somehow change one day. Then, in what she described as nothing short of divine intervention, that change came. This woman didn't even have a bed to sleep on anymore. The change came. 3 months after the storm left her with absolutely nothing, this longtime Lotto player saw her darkest chapter interrupted by an unexpected miracle. $71 million jackpot in January. Overwhelmed by this sudden reversal of fortune, Miss West said that the moment felt like an answer to silent prayers whispered in despair. She said, thank you, Jesus. I'm not so young anymore, and things are getting even harder. This money coming in like a God sent it. Her first priority is simple: restoring dignity through stability. So after months of moving between relatives' house and sleeping on people couch and sleeping on people floor and catch up people yard as we call it, and surviving sections of her and sleeping in surviving sections of her damaged house, West says that the winnings now gives her a chance to rebuild from the ground up. She said, I've been staying with relatives and sometimes in the pizza house whenever blow away. Now I can put on back my own roof and I can start to get back on my feet again. Hurricane Melissa, the most powerful hurricane as we know, hit Jamaica recently. Listen, she won 71 million Jamaican dollars from the Jamaican lottery in January, at the end of January, just gone by. You could see her story in the Jamaica Star, and her picture holding up the check when she went to collect her money is there with her. She is from Westmoreland. She is from one of the areas that was devastated completely. She used the name West because that is not her real name. Of course, she don't want anybody to know who she is. So she cover up even her hand them. You don't know if it's a dark skin or a light skin woman. You don't know nothing about her. I'm not even sure. She's completely covered up. All you can see is the check. That 71 million Jamaican dollars turns out to be 455,526 US dollars and 6 cents. 455,000 US. Go on, mama. I really God answer your prayers. Yeah. And she deserves it, man. She's an elder woman she's not old, but she is not that young anymore. And it took her years to put our house together. Remember, you know how Jamaica do already. You know how we build. You get a house, you put on piece more upon it. You know, whoever dead left this gear put on piece more and piece more. And before you know it, generations down the road, a house looks completely different from how it started out. A lot of the houses in the area I grew up in look the same way. Where when me did I grow up, them they look like one room shack. And now when I go to that part of Jamaica, the houses is some big structures with many rooms and many bathrooms and stuff like that. People put on over the years. So that was her. She put on over the years, put her thing together, and Melissa come mash it down and blow it away. And now she's able to put her life back together. So yeah, that was a heartwarming and a nice story to share this morning. Moving right along though, as she is celebrating, I think it's funny that Jolyon Silvera, the PNP Member of Parliament ex that pled guilty recently to killing his wife, his sentencing will be streamed live March 6th. Jolyon Silvera's sentencing will be streamed live March 6th. Charla, I know you had wanted to say something about Jolyon Silvera's case, but I think we'll talk about that on another day where we can get in depth. Probably around the time of the sentencing, we can get in depth about how he got away with murder. And, you know, his sentencing is coming up. So, the sentencing hearing for the former Member of Parliament, Jolyon Silvera, who pleaded guilty to killing his wife, will be open to the public viewing, despite taking place in the usually restricted gun court. I don't know what changed. Let's find out. Because according to them, gun court has a strict policy where no cameras are allowed and no media personnel was allowed either. Chief Justice Brian Sykes announced on Thursday that the March 6th hearing will be streamed live on the judiciary social media platform. The gun court is not typically open to the public, but the Chief Justice said that this decision was made because the matter has reached the sentencing stage. So apparently the law says we couldn't get to see the case itself, but we get to see the end of it, the sentencing part of it. All right. Yeah, Charlotte, let's make it an event. Let's make it an event. So let's pencil that in for March 6th if you're available. We'll pencil that in for March 6th if you're available, right? For the rest of you who are here and don't know, are those on the actually I'll put the information in when we're done. He said we are now at the point where it's just the sentencing that is left, and that process is easier to manage at this point. Justice Sykes also said that during a forum titled Conversation with the Judiciary in St. Andrew, Silvera, who is the former St. Mary Western MP for the People's National Party, he pleaded guilty on February 6th to manslaughter and using a firearm to commit an offense in the November 10th, 2023 shooting death of his wife, Melissa Silvera, at their Stony Hill home in St. Andrew. He was originally charged with murder. What we're going to discuss on March 6th should go around how he ended up proposing his own sentence to the courts, and they accepted it. The prosecution accepted it, and therefore the judge accepted it. I want to know how that worked, because usually you don't have that privilege. You're charged with murder, you're charged with murder, unless they come to you and they say, well, listen, we have a deal for you. You can plead to a lesser charge and we'll get this out the way. But as far as we know, none of that happened, right? As far as the details that was released, that's not how it went. It was him and his attorney who submitted a plea of guilty to manslaughter. Jamaica, different kettle of fish. Me no know. Anyways, he was originally charged for murder. Melissa Silvera's death was first reported that it was due to natural causes, that she just slept away on her marital bed. However, an autopsy that was conducted 3 weeks later revealed that she suffered from gunshot wounds and 3 bullet fragments were removed from her body. The high-profile case has reignited a debate about the Gun Court Act, which was introduced in the mid-1970s to address the growing use of firearms in criminal activities. The legislation was designated as part to protect witnesses by eliminating public access to the proceedings. Okay, so that's the reason why they decided to have no media persons or cameras in gun court, because a gun court, obviously gunman business, and I think people used to go in there and see who witnesses are, and then the witnesses would get gunned down. So they decided, in order to protect witnesses, we would just not have them in the place again. All right, good to know. So March 6th, Julian Silvera goes live for his sentencing. Let's see if justice will be served. Let's see if justice will be served. This is going to be very interesting. I'll reserve whatever else I have to say about it until then. All right. That is it for us this morning. We're not going to stretch this any further. I appreciate you being here. We're going to go out with a couple of questions, right? And I would like for my audience to participate in these questions. I only have 3. I have a whole bunch of them in front of me, but I'm only going to use 3. What is the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in public? Let's start there. What is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you in public? 3 questions are going to take us up out of here this morning. What is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you in public? Let me think. I can't think of anything embarrassing happening to me in public, other than falling. I fell at a festival one time. I was riding my bicycle through a festival, and I had like a couple of drinks, and I got back on the bicycle, and obviously I was tipsy. I was riding while intoxicated, and I fell so hard that the bicycle flipped over me and fell like on my back, kind of thing. That was embarrassing, but I can't think of anything else more embarrassing. Falling on my ass due to ice on the ground. Falling is always embarrassing, and falling is such a natural thing. Oh, a lie. I know something that was way more embarrassing than that. Hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. Let me read through some of those. Falling on my ass due to ice on the ground. My wig fell off. In public, my wig fell off. Oh God, Randy's doctor said my zipper was down. Wait. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFlo.
What go on, fam?
Give me a little story.
To
answer your question. But I laugh, you know.
Tell me the story though.
Elephant Man did have one song when you lock on. Hot song them time there, you know. Them time them about 14. Then
lock on. And step one,
gonna dance. Yeah, man. Gonna dance and a lock on and with the light a shine, you know. The girl a wine and me a wine pan girl, you know. I'm gonna feel my hand hold me over my shoulder. When me look up at my daddy. Straight to me yard, you know, the hand let go, you know.
You drip you up.
What you say?
I'll drag you away.
I dance hot, you know.
So
look how much you never know.
All right, bro. A couple of things happened. I was in a party in the UK, and the bathroom was upstairs in the party. This was my first time drinking vodka, and me drink the vodka strong enough, and I asked, "Where's the bathroom?" And them said, "Up these steps." It's a steep set of steps, and it was long. It was a lot of steps. I didn't know I was that drunk. This place is a 2-story house, and it was packed. I went upstairs, I joined the little line, wait my turn, I used the bathroom, and I was so drunk, I came back out the bathroom into the party with my pants down by my ankles. I don't know if you've ever been so drunk, you're walking funny, but you're like, I don't know what's on my feet, I feel funny. But from the bathroom to the step is a short distance, because when you go up the step, then the bathroom is like right there, sort of like staggered off to the left, but it's like in front of on the step landing as you reach the top of the step. So me come out of the bathroom now and take about 2-3 steps. And I remember standing at the top of the step, and I remember everybody looking up at me, but me think them did not clear the way for me come down the step. I still didn't know that my pants was down by my ankles, right? And as I went to make my first step, me drop, and me roll all down all the step them all the way to the bottom of the step. And there I was spread out at the bottom of the step with my pants down, on my ankles at these people party. Boy, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing as hell. And I got up. I'm staying up. I stay. When you're young and shameless, I stayed. People laughed, and I just looked at it as like everybody was having fun. You know, they're like, "Oh my god," and we just kept partying, and it was fun. But it was embarrassing. It was super embarrassing. That's a one. I can think of other things now too, because my son kept reminding me about this one. We stopped at the gas station and jumped out of my truck. I was about to get some gas. And then I went to fart because I'm outside the vehicle. Everybody in the vehicle, but now I fart in the vehicle, right? So I was like, oh, you know when you want to fart and you're gassy and you hold it in for a long time? I was holding it in for a long time. And then I stopped at the gas station, jump out to get some gas. And I said, my leg of the fart now. So, and leg of fart, you know, and I just felt like something was running down my legs. And I was like, oh shit. By the time I said, oh shit, all my kids were looking at me. All my kids were looking at me. My son was like, oh my God, Dad sharted. He sharted himself, Jaden. He sharted. So all of the kids them start laugh. So now, every time I drive past that gas station there, Kosi is like, ain't that the gas station where you like shit it on yourself? I'm like, I don't remember what you're talking about. I don't recall. But yeah, them there. And the one in Jamaica. Oh my God. The one in Jamaica was bad. That was super bad. Yeah. But things happen. Things happen. We're still living. Let me ask you a couple more questions now. We have 2 more questions to go because it's only 3 questions that's going to take us out of here. What is the most embarrassing fashion emergency you have ever had? Fashion emergency. That means, zipper down, you didn't know it, teely out the zipper. By the way, that's my most embarrassing fashion emergency. My zipper, when I saw zipper down, I think it's Raddy's daughter or somebody said it. That's why I was laughing like that, because my zipper was down. And I was pretty young. And my teely was turtlenecking, and it was friggin' out there. And I don't know how I didn't feel no wind or nothing. The thing was just friggin' there. And I was wondering why somebody had looked down there so. Until I looked down. And this was in the train in New York. And I looked down. And there was my thing. And that was embarrassing. So that are my most embarrassing fashion emergency that I've ever had. Zipper down, teely out in public, walking around not knowing that your teely is out. All right. Next question. What is the worst thing that you've ever smelled? This one will take us out of here. What is the worst thing that you have ever smelled? The worst thing you ever smelled. I don't feel any ear either. Wait, you say you didn't feel any ear either? Your cheeks? It's embarrassing. Wait, who said their swimsuit top? Mistress B said, my swimsuit top came loose at the beach while playing beach volleyball and I didn't realize. Also, you just had titties just flopping. You just had titties just flopping in the wind, and you didn't realize? Oh, damn. Yeah. Yeah, I never feel no cold ear or nothing like that. The thing was just out, just hanging out. Same thing happened to me, and it was a teacher who saw me and said nothing. The teacher probably saying, and I said nothing because I don't want them to say I'm watching their crotches. So I'm not saying anything. And could I say, Mr. Mac, you want to fix yourself? Oh, you ever go to the bathroom and wipe your body and then drop your clothes and come out and the piece of toilet paper still a trail you from a public bathroom? It never happened to me, but I've seen it happen to quite a few people in a public space. Like if you're shopping in Walmart and you see somebody go use the bathroom and come back out, usually it's an elderly person too. It's like the toilet tissue stuck in them body and then it's reeling out through the clothes and all kind of something. So embarrassing, something can happen to you, see. Pan scratches bust out, me a whole when the pan scratches bust out, me a whole a seat. Everybody else seat and I didn't. Oh, pan scratches bust out and you never wear no brief that day there. We used to wear brief before boxers, Remember when we used to wear a brief? Don't go like we never used to wear a brief too. We didn't grow up wearing boxers. We grew up wearing brief. Come on now. Don't act like I'm me alone. We grew up wearing brief. As boys, a brief we did wear. And when your pants scratches bust out, sometimes you didn't go to school with no brief. You were free balling. And pants scratches bust out today, they play Karachi. And you look at Telia, beer breezy to take. You have to walk like you're a model. Bathing suit bottom was so big. Wait. I was floating and didn't notice my secret garden was Andre the bathing suit bottom gone. Andre say our bathing suit bottom gone. That's a beer fluffy front out the door. Could you imagine you there floating, you don't even care, you're like, oh that feels so good. It feels so good because the clothes not dip on it. Oh man. Mortified. What is the most horrible thing you have ever smelled? That's the one that's taking us out of here this morning. The most horrible thing I've ever smelled. The most horrible thing I've ever smelled was baby doodoo. Baby doodoo. Yeah. No, I lie. As much as I want to say baby doodoo stink, I could deal with it. Adult doodoo. Another adult doodoo that is not mine. That right there, so I just can't take other people doodoo smell. So I think that's the stinkest. And you can say dead meat, and I've smelled human flesh burnt, I've smelled all other things, but a next grown person doodoo will take me out every single time. I'm like, that's why I hate using public toilets. I'm one of those, all right? I've smelled a deceased body before. I smelled a garbage truck before. I've smelled a deceased body before. I've smelled a burnt human before. Well, Carissa Smith said, Waterford. You know, somebody used to live over Waterford. She said, Waterford, ship tank. Waterford. Before we moved to Clarendon, I used to live over Waterford. Actually, I used to live over Brighton. Cesspool water. Some people fart smell like cesspool water. There's a similarity. Jesus Christ, Audrey. We're gonna go with that one here. White man fart in an elevator with me in it. Never smelled nothing so stinking of life. It smell green. Ronnie's daughter said I live close to a cesspool processing company. Everyone drive past it. Working in a nursing home when my shift started. Pit toilet. Pit toilet never used to stink for me. Cause me used to hide out in there. I used to love hide out in a pit toilet and listen people business down the road. And listen with neighbor them business. Cause our pit toilet was like on the edge of the property. So we could have listened over other people's yard. Yeah man, we used to hide out in a pit toilet. It never stink to me. Never stink to me. Walking in the bathroom at work and someone just left and leave a weird stench. I leave. I don't use it. I don't want no one coming in there and thinking it was me. Here's a fun fact. In order for me to use a public toilet, I literally have to clean it like a janitor. So you ever get hit with one of those? Oh my God, I'm not gonna make it home. I forgot to use the bathroom. So you run going to a public toilet and then it's all messy, like doodle up on the seat and everything like that. I have to reel off all the toilet paper or go outside, go find all the paper for the use your hand them clean. Then we go squeeze out all of the soap. I'm like with a big thing of paper like this, wet it, squeeze out all of the soap, wash down the toilet seat, then fling with that, then do a next one, clean off toilet seat. That's how I use public toilet. I can't just squat over public toilet and use them. And I'm definitely not sitting on no public toilet. I have to really like wash it down. And yes, anytime it's messy, I always do the same thing. I feel like anybody who's coming after me, them other things say I me did smell so or I me did shit up the people have toilet seat like that. So the next thing why me clean it down like that. Clean it down. Some people out there nasty, you know, man. You see people just squat over the toilet and just let it go up on the toilet seat. Big loaf. Just sitting there when you walk in. Like, oh my God. If everybody did stay like me, public toilets would be as clean as the ones at your house. Because I saw me clean it before me use it. Other than that, I can't use it. I can't use it. I prefer go upon myself first and hold it in my pants and carry it home and dash on my clothes before I go in there. If I can't clean it down like that and I'm not have all the cleaning supplies, I'm not using it at all. Nasty. All right. That is it for us this morning. Don't sit on any public toilets out there. And for those of you who live where it's snowing, do not eat the yellow snow. And that them did tell me I didn't understand why until I realized that people piss out the door in the snow. And we used to take up the snow and talk about, snow cones. Do not eat the yellow snow and don't sit on public toilets. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Big up yourself. I appreciate you being here. Happy birthday to 5 Up again. All right. And we will see each other again if God spare life sometime soon. Like my granny Miss Ruby said, be good. If you can't be good, be careful. But it's best to be good. And like my grandfather Mas Clevey said, I will see you tomorrow if God spare life. Enjoy your weekend. Life is short, even when you live it long. See you later.